Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Today we're going to talk about the CTC tools and the survey module that comes with the CIM project suite. Today we're going to show you a little bit about the point file converter and show you how a couple of our free tools work. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC. We have a add-in product that works for Civil 3D, directly in Civil 3D, and so let's get to it. Okay, so survey tools, like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in to the questions panel there, and if we can get to them during the webinar, we will. Otherwise, I'll try to answer them afterwards to the best of my ability. So the survey tools, like I said, it's part of the CIM project suite of tools, and it's intended for everyday Civil 3D users creating design and production. It will work in the last 4 versions, back to version 2019 of Civil 3D. We have a new update coming out for the 2024 version, so we will no longer be supporting the 2019 version. So the survey module, it's up here in the corner. Again, you can move those around just like you can in AutoCAD to put it wherever you want. By default, that's where it lands. So what is it? Well, it's a set of tools that were developed specifically to handle some of the survey tasks, because we all know how difficult and not very well designed Civil 3D is specifically for survey. So we have some tools to kind of help you out there. It consists of 3 separate tools. We have a feature line to alignment, which will take feature lines and create alignments out of them, which can be handy if you're doing an existing survey and it's a repair, remove, replace kind of thing. So if you're doing a curb, let's say, and if the guys shoot a curb out there, and you need to go back and put it in the same place because they're replacing it, we don't have to do it by points anymore. We can make an alignment out of it and send it out in the field, and they can stake it by alignment. So we all know things get in the way when you have points, and then you got to get creative. So we can utilize that part of the survey database as it pertains to data collectors. Another one we have is Survey Sweeper, and both of these two you see in the light green, these are our free tools. The Survey Sweeper, what that will do is it will help clean up when you process your line work, trying to find those in the database and remove them. If you have to reprocess things, it gets kind of difficult, and you get some pretty unwanted results, especially when you're creating surfaces and whatnot. So this will get that out of there and make it easier for that, which we'll be showing you today. Well, like I said, those first 2 are free, and then what does it do? Well, it helps us create and edit the survey data. So the point file converter will, well, let me move to the next slide here. So we talked about what feature line to alignment does, and Survey Sweeper, I should have put free there too. And the point file converter, what does that do? Well, you don't have to have multiple point codes for your field crews. And conversely, if your description key set is set one way and you get a point file from an outside entity, you can convert it back to your survey code set to match your description key set, so that when you process your data, it will come in, and you don't have to have all these description key sets out there and other things. So you can do it both ways. So with that, let's jump into Civil 3D and show you how some of this works. Okay. So here's a typical start from scratch survey drawing. I used our survey drawing template to get all of our settings and everything in there, so it's ready to go. But first, let's talk about point file converter up here. So point file converter, it's not, it doesn't work within Civil 3D. It's an exterior thing, so you can have it down here too. You don't need to access it directly from there. So you can just open it up, and I'll show you some of the functionality that goes with it. So if you're starting from scratch, we supply this sample translation file here. And this has all the directions right here, makes it very easy. Follow these directions. You have your old codes, your new codes. If you have prefixes, you'll fill all that in. It handles line work as well. I will show you that in a little bit. So suffixes, if you're shooting things and you have suffixes, you can find and replace those. We have old code delimiters too. If you're not using them, just enter a space there and it will ignore it. And if you're using field codes, additional codes on the outside of things, you can have it ignore those. So these enter for that there. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you've dealt with them, I'm sure you know how that works. So I don't need to go into a great detail. But let's say you are starting from scratch. So let me just minimize that real quick. So if you're starting from scratch, you have your description key set. And with CIM Manager Suite, we have here export code sets. So you can get it from here to your description key set, however you want to get it out of there. This is a sample file, CTC one that I have. And if you want to, export it from there, you can. But if you have the CIM Manager Suite, you can just go get it from right here and export it to an Excel. I'll go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to drop it in here. Let's call it the CTC description key set. Call it master codes. You might have one out there somewhere else that you want to use. I'm just showing you a quick example here. So I say save, it asks me if I want to open it. Yeah, I want to open it. So it'll come in just a regular Excel file, and then I can just copy all that and paste it into the sample file to get going. When it opens, there it comes. Okay, so let me drag it over here. Here we go. So we have your codes, and hopefully, they're shooting them out there. Guys, they're not going to be perfect. So we can just take and we can just copy these out of here. And I can take and stick them right in here. And you're like, oh, hey, wait, that's no good. We got those asterisks as well. It's Excel, so we can just get those out of there. So we're gonna find them all. Let me highlight this row. Do it again. Okay, so I'm gonna say replace. and there it did it. So it took that asterisk off and you're good to go. You're good to start. So now all you need to do is enter whatever the code you're trying to change is right there. So let me open up another file here. I'm going to close that because we don't need that. I'm not going to save it. But if you wanted to save it somewhere, you sure could. Let me open. Okay, so here's kind of an example here that I had. So if you wanted to match your company code, so in this case, CTC codes, and if you wanted to have a cheat sheet like this where you can put them all in there, and then you can copy and paste from these two. So you can see here, these have different codes for buildings, I just put a small sampling in here, and you'll see why in a minute, because it's going to show us some files and what the differences are. So let me go ahead and stick that up there. Oops, wrong side. There. Okay, back with it. And close that one. Okay, so what do we want to convert here? So we might have a point file here that we want to convert. We might want to convert this project file to CTC or back to city. So in this case, we're going to go city files is what I'm going to show you today. And you'll see how these get updated. Okay, so let me go back here to my translator. So I've got translators here. And this one is this here, just the multiple codes that they have. So I want to convert this point file that I called up here to city codes. So say that those were your company codes that you shot in the field, but you have to give it back to somebody and they want it to match their codes in case they need to bring it in, or if you're just sharing codes, if you guys went out and did a topo somewhere, then you would use that one. So let me close this one because we don't need that anymore. Let's get back to our point file converter. So here you just go out and you get your translator folder. So I'm going to convert the CTC to city. So I'm going to open that one. And now what's the point file I want to convert? So I can convert this one. So here I add it. So here's that point file right here. So I'm going to add it so I can open that one. And I can do them both at a time. If you did it in phases, different days, and you're keeping them, you can include that too. These were shot in a different code, and you'll see lots of differences when I bring that, but let's put that one in there too. So we've got that one. So what do we have here? So this is going to ignore comments after field codes. If you're using multi-line descriptors, if they shot something, a tree or a fence, and they said it was broken or something, I guess we don't really care about that. And so convert, what column are we going to convert? Well, this is a typical point, number, northing, easting, elevation, description. So we want to do the description, that's the 5th column. Okay, Excel-based stuff. And we're going to save it as a comma delimited CSV. So we're going to save this to the same location that we got those, but you can put it in another location if you like. I have this path to the exact same location. Wherever you want to do it. I'm just going to say save to the same location. And we have a suffix here that you can tell it so we know that it's been converted, however you want to do it. If you want to know who did it, I'm going to put my initials on there. And this right here, this is the report codes not specified in the translation file. So this is going to give us a little idea of what we didn't get, what might be different. So let me say apply to that. And here's our report right here. So we don't have, some of these codes were shot in our point file. Here's sign right here, but we didn't have that as a translator. So it's going to stay the same. Okay. And some of these other ones here too. So, and I think those are coming from that other point file right here. So they won't get converted. So let me say, okay, the process is complete. Oh, and you can save that, that report out too. So you could copy those codes over if you know, hey, those codes are, they're not in my translator. I sure want to add them, because we might not say SGNP, we might just say SGN. So I think it's trying to open here. Go back to here. Should be going to here. Oh, they went there. Okay, I thought they opened. So they jumped right here. So here that shows that they're converted. So here's that one we have open on the right. So here's the one we have open on the right. And you can see this one was EBT, edge of bit, and for line work begin. But it should have been, this was our code. We say begin. They say ST for start. EBP again, EBT. It's all taken care of, top back. TBC they say. We say top of curb. You know, you get the nuances there. So there's the difference there. And like I said, the other code, set of field codes that got shot were done in another, oops. Maybe were shot in a different set of coding. So they need to be converted too. And as we can see from two different crews out there shooting, maybe they didn't know what coding we're using. So this person shot EOT edge of trail, I'm guessing. Again, it's a lot of different nuances there. Edge of drive lane, probably for edge of bit. So a lot of different things, and that can be converted too. So pretty good tool. Saves a lot of time. I know that I've spent a lot of time in the past going through point files, comparing codes. Do I have the right code? Guys not knowing in the field, like those two crews, what is the field code I'm shooting today? You come back with two different things. You can set up converters to take care of all of that. So let me just open that up again and cover everything, make sure we got everything covered in there that you can see. I think if you gave this a try, it's a lot easier than with all the different options we have in there. It's a lot easier than trying to compare it to an Excel, writing formulas, what if this, what if that, and then bring it back, and then it's really kind of a one-off. This can save you a lot of time. So let's get into a couple of the others here now. So let's jump into these two tools, Survey Sweeper and Feature to Align. So let's open a database. We have a database here. You'd have one open to, or this is how you would get your data in. So let's go ahead and import survey data. Typical way you would do it. Pick your format, grab your points. I should have noted that. I'll show you that, but make sure that you have everything set up too, the way you would import things, so that you have your prefix databases and your figure networks and your line work, or your code sets for your line works, so that everything comes in. So figure objects, yes. Points when bringing, yes. Finish. And you got good crews, so they went out there and they followed everything, they shot everything the best they could, and you bring it in the first time and it looks pretty good. But you got to do some edits to it. But like I was saying, make sure things are set up. Here, your company might have specific ways that you set this up. Hopefully they have a set file. If yours doesn't match, that you can dump in there and keep it. The template should hold it too. So that's how you get everything, started from the start. So what do we have to do in a typical survey like this when we bring it in? Well, we have it in and they did a really good job. A couple things went bad. I can see right away that they shot 2 different times here, probably came out the next day, however that happened. And they coded this right from the start, but they flip-flopped it. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just edit these like you normally would. And edit these survey point properties so we know it's the wrong side. So we gotta get rid of those negatives. Oops. Get rid of those. Well, that one's good. What else happened? So these didn't get connected up here. That's okay. I can edit this code. I can use my RPN repeat number to 84. Could do it the other way too here, I suppose. I think this will take care of it. I can say okay here. What else we got going here? Well, that's a figure problem right there. We won't take care of that right now. Let's see what else. As we pour through here, we kind of scroll around, typical what you would do. Here, we probably missed a begin there. And we see that it probably wants to go to continue to point number 276. So let's do that. Okay, what else? What else might have happened? Let's try it. Well, let's just run this. So update the line work, yes. Check, I guess we don't need the points anymore. We can take that off. Say okay, see what happens to that. Whoa, that didn't work up there. So we can fix that, let's fix that. And this is part of the problem with doing these. Is, it's kind of an iterative process here. So let's take that off there, and like that, it continued that radius. So let's take that off of there, but you can see this flipped the way it's supposed to. Let's say this one, let's say this continues to, looks like 34. Let's do that, 34. If you don't know about these codes, this RPN and the CPN, the RPN is going to take, if they got multi codes in there like these, where it's doing it, it's going to bring all the lines over. The CPN will just do one line. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we just drag those down. We can clean that up. Clean that up. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, we got something going on here. So this one, not sure what's happening there, but let's see if we can fix it and edit that point. Where's my edit? There we go. Let's try if we continue just that line. Here's what I was talking about. They got the 3 lines that these went through, but something happened there. So let's just try that back a curb to, looks like 214. Okay. Go ahead and process that line work again. And this is part of the iterative process to get things in. Did that fix? No, that didn't quite work, did it? Not sure on that one. That's okay. You could figure it out. We don't have time now, but let's see what's going on here. So this looks like it's a survey figure order problem, point order problem. So we got 75 to 82 to 381. So probably jumped across, did a shot, however it happened in the field. We told it to go numerically, so we're missing that, so we have to move that one. I'm sure we've all edited survey figure properties before, but we'll go through it anyway. So you get that highlighter on there to show. We want to probably move this 81 to the right order. Let's see when we get there. That looks probably what we want right there. Let's do that. Say okay. And this we missed too. Let's edit that one real quick here. So we're gonna add point. Let's go grab that one. Way out of order. That's okay. We'll figure this out. Oh, I had it right there. Okay, good. That one's good to go. What else? Fix this guy too. Should be so lucky to get a survey database that came in looking this good right from the start. So what do we want to do? We want to add another point. We'll grab it. Okay, and that's not right. Let's start moving it up until we see it go where we want it to. So then we do all these fixes and something else happens, and for whatever reason, we have to change or reprocess our line work. So what's going to happen? Well, it's going to hang on to that. Let's do this one too. We'll fix this one real quick. This would be an easy, quick one. So eventually, see, one of them's out of order. So we want to go from there to there to there. I think this one is out of order. I should have looked at the number before. Okay, there we got it. Okay, so then for whatever reason, we need to reprocess the line work, right? We've all done that. So what happens? You got to come in here and you say, something happened. We're going to process the line work. You're going to say, okay. This was what I was talking about before, where you're going to get, all of a sudden we've got bad things happening. So this went back where it was supposed to. This too, now how do we find them? How do we get them out of there? Well, if you've ever dealt with these, and I think most of us have, we know that those are edge of concretes there for sure. So let's scroll down and see if we can find where that might be out of order. Let's find the edge of concretes. Where are they? What's bad? Well, this probably is one of them. I hope that's that one. Let's try this one. So we can see how slow this is, right? This is not fun. To find them, then to get them out of there, which one is bad. So we have a better way. Let me see if we can find the order of that one. Excruciating, I know. Okay, there's the good one. Where's the bad one? Well, it's one of them. The heck with it. So survey sweeper, what will that do? We click on it and we can get rid of these guys right out of here, and they'll be out of the figure database so that we can create a surface out of this. So now it's a clean surface a clean drawing. Everything's been edited. We're good to go. Oh, we got one down there too. Let's get rid of that guy. Now we finally got everything cleaned up. And they came out of the database. I couldn't find it, so I can't tell you where it was. But suffice it to say, it's not here. I can promise you that. If I redo these figures, it won't come in again. So now we can build a surface out of it. So now we can just do it the normal way you would do it. You can say create break lines. So that was in our description key set. Which ones do we want to pick? In this case, I think we just want to do all of them. Okay. Oh. Okay, we got to create a surface. Just come from right here. We're going to call it existing ground gas site. That's what the point files were. So we'll just call it that. Set everything there. Okay. Okay. And our break lines, we're going to call it, let's call it survey figures. Actually, let's call it figures from survey. I mean, you don't have to give it a name. I kind of like to. Just because when you're looking, if you have to do edits in your surface, it makes everything more easy. to know what's going on if you add brake lines later, if you were to say add a brake line down the center here. So let's go back to our prospector, and we have our surface built strictly off of our survey figure brake lines. So what else can we do? What else would we do? We'd probably add some points here, right? We'd add the point files. My template has a point file. Oops, I should probably update before I do that. Let's update our points, our point groups. Update that, and I have one called gas station site that I used to build the surface off of, or I could use the existing ground one here too. So let me let's move that one to the top, and we'll use the existing ground one. Say okay. So and that will exclude some of the things we don't want: hydrants, things that are going to give us humps and holes. So just typical site creation right here, really. Oops, point group. I want to include the point group. I'm just going to grab that one, say okay. Not sure. It looked like it did. I don't know if I had that on rebuild automatic. I did. Okay. And just like that, we've got our survey figures. We got all our line work done, and now we have our surface created as well. So we have the existing ground or existing gas site surface. So what if we wanted to go back? Let's just say this is a tear out rebuild, and all this road curb has to go right back where it was after they developed the site, whatever is happening to it. So with feature to alignment, we can create our alignment out of this survey figure line. So this is a pretty dirty drawing. I'm going to say none. You don't need to attach that to a site. We just want to create the alignment. Let's call it existing CG. I don't think we need to say anything more than that. Our alignment style, I don't have anything in here for alignment styles. If I did, you could pick that here. Typical alignment creation stuff, just like you would get out of Civil 3D, which this is Civil 3D function. It's nothing proprietary here. It will work the same way. I can create a profile off of it. So I know, because I cheated, where I want that station to start. Ahead of time I looked, and I want it to start at 4.64. So basically from this pointer curve right here, assuming that this would be replaced with the site. So I'll say okay. And for some reason that didn't work, but whatever. So from here then, and I didn't say to draw it in the profile, but you could draw it in the profile. So from here, you can go ahead and just export this alignment out for field staking purposes. So with that, really all I had to show today. And Arturo asked the question, can I share this file? Yes, I can share this file. Send me your email and I will share it with you. Send it to tonyk@ctcsoftware.com and I can share that file with you. So again, then in here, it just creates your alignment and you can edit it as you see fit here to pull out, you know, because you wouldn't want to give, they don't need the whole thing. They only need to go from there to there. So you can get that out of there too. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that because I don't really need it in here. I can't delete it there. I'll just delete it here. So there we have it. Okay, that's all I had to show you today. I hope you saw at least some of the beneficial things that we have, and those two tools, those last two, are free, unbelievably free. And I can tell you from personal experience that that point file converter will save you lots of time, and the survey sweeper, lots of headaches. So with that, that's our survey module in our CIM project suite of tools. We also have the CIM management manager, it should say, suite of tools, which I showed you. If you have it, you can take advantage of some of these things. If you don't have it, you can contact us at ctcsoftware.com or your local reseller.